let's start off on the talk on yellow revolution. I plan to teach you yellow revolution in this manner. What we will try doing is, we will try understanding what is yellow revolution or what was yellow revolution, what were the reasons and what were the benefits, the impact as we call it, why did the yellow revolution fade away, क्यों वो फिर धीरे धीरे रुक गया होना, and what can we do for a second yellow revolution. Because, and I'll tell you, this is important from your batch and even those of you who are appearing 2021, their perspective, because when you talk about yellow revolution, listen to this carefully. When you talk about yellow revolution, actually it becomes important in the sense that now again oil seeds have been in news and our huge oil imports have been dominant in news. So we need to again assure that we have another yellow revolution or oil seed production rises. So that can kind of provoke UPSC into asking you this question. That is what I suspect. So when you write an analysis, say if we write a critical analysis of yellow revolution. So when you write a critical analysis of yellow revolution, when you introduce by defining what is yellow revolution or what was yellow revolution, always introduce by that. So in this case, what you can do, you can write yellow revolution refers to very quick and large increase in production of oil seeds in India after technology mission on oil seeds was established in 1986. The production increased from 8 million tons in 1979 to 16 million tons by 1991 and further to 18 million tons by 1996. It peaked in 1997 at 21 million tons. So this is to begin with, that within 11 years or within 15-16 years and 11 years of technology mission on oil seeds being established, the production increased to a great extent. Hello Shashank. The question is critically analyze yellow revolution in India. Akshat, the question is critically analyze yellow revolution in India. That is the question. So, thank you, Avinash. So this is your introduction that you can bring in, where you define yellow revolution, and in one line you also explain what happened during yellow revolution. You define yellow revolution, and in one line you also explained what happened during yellow revolution. That is, production of oil seeds went on becoming higher, between 1986 and 1997. So with the technology mission on oil seeds established and with oil seed production rising heavily in India, this whole process was called Yellow Revolution. This whole process was called Yellow Revolution. Now that is one part of the story. This, I repeat again, this whole process was called Yellow Revolution. Then that is one part of the story. Then you move to, and now I'll teach you how you can link. So to link the answer, now you have to talk about reasons why it happened. So you can write below this, changing your paragraph. There were several reasons for Yellow Revolution. They were, that is to begin with, that there were several reasons for Yellow Revolution, and they were, so what were these reasons? Now we will get into that. There were several reasons for Yellow Revolution, and now we will get into what were these reasons that led to Yellow Revolution. So always use such link lines. Whenever you are writing an answer, you write an introduction and use these link lines. These link lines are very important because they allow the examiner to keep the flow of the answer. All right, आप कभी-कभी देखना, sometimes when people evaluate you, they say your answer has good content, but the flow is missing. So flow is this, that answer looks disrupted, answer looks discontinuous, कि कहाँ introduction खत्म हुआ, कहाँ body शुरू हुई, body में कहाँ benefits शुरू हुए, कहाँ reasons शुरू हुए, ये पता ही नहीं चला. When somebody says that answer looks without a flow, it means that you have not been able to connect the introduction to the reasons, to the or causes, to the benefits, to the problem challenges, like that. So if the answer is connected well, then the flow of the answer is maintained. So that is what the examiners mean when they say flow. Since it is a critical examination will always mean that you have to talk about what is Yellow Revolution, what were the reasons due to which it succeeded, and what were the reasons due to which it stagnated and it did not happen as well. And then in conclusion, you can talk about the need for a second Yellow Revolution. In your conclusion, you can write the need for a second Yellow Revolution. So that kind of an answering structure you should learn developing. As I keep teaching you more and more questions, I'm sure you will be able to structure out the answers well, and that will help you frame your own answers better. That's my purpose of these question answer sessions. I'm coming to that, Shivam. I'm coming to that. Technology mission, Akshat, was about, okay, let me teach you that and I'll come to that. All important, Dhruv. We will discuss all of them one by one. All right, golden and golden fiber may not be that relevant at the moment, but blue one is very important, and brown revolution about soil is equally important. Okay. So this is one, but I will teach you all revolutions of agriculture one by one. First I'm covering those which happened before 91, and then those which have continued post 91 on a larger scale. We will go like that. Okay, so this can be my introduction. This technology mission on oil seeds was established by the government for a particular purpose, to improve the technical background of oil seed cultivation in India. So I'm coming to that. You first take it further. So we begin with the reasons. In that you can write one more thing. You write the demand for edible oil increased in India with increasing income and population, which led to demand for oil seeds. So this was one reason. The demand for edible oil started increasing. This was, if you ask me, sometimes around mid 1970s. 1975, 1976, 1977, these were the years when demand for edible oil started picking up in India. With green revolution spreading, with certain income groups becoming better off. So overall income level in India had risen by now, especially now rural income started pushing up, and that resulted in higher demand for edible oil and so on with respect to green revolution. Around 30 million tons, Harlal. 25 million tons to 30 million tons is the range. We will come to that. Avinash. Just give me some time. I will discuss this whole thing with you. Okay, so this is one. The demand for edible oil increased in India with increasing income and population, which led to demand for oil seeds. This is one thing that happened. Another was the scientific capability to produce vegetable oil and hydrogenated oil with higher shelf life. Higher shelf life means that they can last longer. Higher shelf life means that they can last longer. So the technology to produce vegetable oil, technology to produce hydrogenated oil, all those dalda and so on. So hydrogenated oil is that. I'm sure you all know with your 7th, 8th NCERT science behind you, so that hydrogenated oil is like dalda kind of a thing which thickens up, and can be stored longer. And similarly, vegetable oil is one which will not thicken up and can be stored otherwise with the packaged material. So its shelf life combined with higher demand in urban areas. So with all this, there came higher demand in urban areas. So combined with higher demand in urban areas led to, so higher demand in urban areas for these kind of oil led to higher demand for edible oil. So these were the two demand side reasons. What I have written here, these are the two demand side reasons. So in your exam, if you want to make it obvious to the examiner, which you should want, that examiner should always know what all you know, that is the way to impress, you can always add a line here saying the demand side reasons for yellow revolution are, and then write these 2 points. So you are telling the examiner, look, I know the demand side and supply side idea, that this is from demand side, that there was higher demand for vegetable oil, there was higher demand for edible oil, there was higher demand, capacity to produce vegetable oil, and all that meant higher demand for oil seeds. So firms wanted more oil seeds, people were buying these products, so more and more oil seed production was now needed. India's import bill of oil seeds started rising. India's import bill of oil seeds started rising. All right. Now this line, the last one that I told you, will become our connecting line. Again, to connect it to supply side measures. ये जो आखिरी लाइन बोली मैंने, ये हमारी कनेक्टिंग लाइन बन जाएगी इसको सप्लाई साइड मेजर से कनेक्ट करने के लिए. तो चलो देखते हैं ये फिर क्या लाइन है. This last line that I spoke about imports becoming high and therefore putting pressure on foreign exchange, use that as the connecting line to explain the supply side idea. That is, see, by early 1980s, demand for vegetable oil, or keep it edible oil, demand for edible oil kept rising and reached a level where it was, the demand for edible oil kept rising and reached a level where it was becoming exorbitant to import it, and therefore policy focus shifted towards oilseed production. So now by 1980s, the policy focus was shifting towards oilseed production. All right, Garima, this is third slide. Yes, Ashwarya, you can call the demand for oilseeds as a derived demand. You can call the demand for oilseeds as derived demand. Possible, Kuldeep? Different places have different impacts. Okay, so this is one aspect of it. All right, that you talk about, how policy focus shifts from one system to another, and that then meant that oilseed was now becoming the prime place where government was putting its resources. Now we say, policy encouragement for oilseeds was given, make it oilseeds production, was given to create supply side impact. Now, in your answer, if you are writing an answer in the exam, you can always make this a one line thing. Alright, अपने आंसर में अगर तुम्हें 150 वर्ड में आंसर लिखना है तो इसे एक लाइन में लिखो. क्या होगा वो एक लाइन? In your answer in the exam, make it a one line thing. You say that by early 1980s, import of oil seeds became exorbitant, and therefore supply side impact was created on oilseed through government policy. So that is how you can reduce this whole thing into one line. That by 1980s, import of oilseed production started becoming lesser, becoming exorbitant, and edible oil, I'm sorry. So by 1980s, the import of edible oil started becoming exorbitant, and therefore it resulted in creating policy impact from supply side. So that is the way you can connect your answer again. As I told you, connection is important because it maintains the flow of your answer and makes a difference of 1.5 marks in almost every question. Now think, if in the exam you have to attempt something like 19 questions, if you can score even 1 mark extra on each, that gives us around 19 marks. So that is the way your mind should keep working. That okay, how to score more by writing the same answer, but writing it in a manner which sounds more friendly to the examiner. विशाल, एग्जॉर्बिटेंट का मतलब होता है जो हद से ज्यादा हो जाए। जब जरूरत ज्यादा हो जाए बहुत कोई चीज तो उसे कहते हैं एग्जॉर्बिटेंट। जैसे मान लो चावल का प्राइस 2,000 रुपए किलो हो गया, 500 रुपए किलो हो गया, तो वो एग्जॉर्बिटेंट माना जाता है। आई होप विशाल इट क्लैरिफाइज। Harshjeet, the demand for oil seeds depends on demand for edible oil, hence derived demand. Whenever demand for one commodity or factor of production depends on demand for something else, then that is called a derived demand. For example, demand for my services as an educator will depend on demand for education. So that is again, that makes demand for my services a derived demand. I hope Harshjeet it clarifies. Okay, let's take the story further then. So we say early 1980s demand for edible oil kept rising and reached a level where it was becoming exorbitant to import it, and therefore policy focus shifted towards oilseed production and policy encouragement given to create oilseed impact. Now what were these? Government started declaring minimum support price on oil seeds to encourage. Government started declaring minimum support price on oil seeds to encourage farmers to bring more area under cultivation. And it happened. More area did come under cultivation. More area under cultivation, and it happened. More areas started coming under cultivation. In fact, the area under cultivation for oil seeds almost increased by 35 to 40%. The area under cultivation of oil seed increased by 35 to 40% because of minimum support price now that the government was encouraging to giving to the farmers. Harlal, I hope you heard the meaning of derived demand. I explained it to Harshjeet. Okay, then the next thing that happened, second thing that happened, so this is one. Second was better irrigation facilities through assured irrigation using groundwater, canals, and tank irrigation in western, mainly Gujarat, central, mainly Madhya Pradesh, and southern region, mainly Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So better irrigation facilities through assured irrigation using groundwater, respectively, of course. Helped in increasing the yield. Helped in increasing the yield. So that is another thing that happened. Better irrigation facilities through assured irrigation using groundwater, canals, and tank irrigation in western, that is Gujarat. In Gujarat, they used a lot of groundwater. Central India, that is Madhya Pradesh mainly. It was in Uttar Pradesh also, in the Bundelkhand region of Uttar Pradesh. So, you know, Madhya Pradesh and part of Uttar Pradesh, the Bundelkhand region, so using canals there. And southern region, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, using tank irrigation to give assured irrigation to increase the yield, productivity. You know, capacity of the land to produce was encouraged with this. So this was the second supply side reason that promoted oil seeds, production in India. TMO is Technology Mission on Oil Seeds. I hope you remember, we just discussed it. Technology Mission on Oil Seeds promoted development of better quality seeds. They were not high yielding variety, please be careful. They were not high yielding variety of seeds necessarily, but comparatively better quality than what was being used till then. They were not high yielding variety of seeds, but comparatively better quality seeds than what was being used till then. Alright, that is the aspect. So the Technology Mission on Oilseed promoted development of better quality seeds, and its outreach to farmers, that is seeds सिर्फ बने ही नहीं, किसानों तक पहुंचे. ऑलराइट, यही नहीं कि सिर्फ सीड्स को बनाया किसी ने, उनको किसानों तक पहुंचाया भी जाए. तो टेक्नोलॉजी मिशन for oil seeds promoted development of better quality seeds and its outreach to the farmers, combined with training the farmers in better use of machines, fertilizer, and pesticides to increase yield on the field. If अगर yield का मतलब समझने में दिक्कत हो रही है by chance, तो इसका मतलब होता है पैदावार. ठीक है, हिंदी शब्द yield के लिए है पैदावार. So yield means what is the production of the on the land, production capacity of the land. So फसल की पैदावार ज्यादा होने लगी. All right, it became larger and larger amount of crop, growing of crops. So more area under cultivation, assured irrigation given to the farmers. Along with that, the technology mission taught the farmers how to grow, what kind of better quality seeds for them, how to use chemical fertilizers and pesticides, etc. See, the experience from Green Revolution was already there. Since the experience from Green Revolution was already there, it was not that tough to train farmers into this. Now, these farmers had not learnt much about Green Revolution because they were belonging to different regions, but they did know about it, and some of them had benefited from it. So the idea was to take the farmers away from these type of production, wheat production, and so on, towards producing oil seeds. So this is where the production of oil seeds started. And by 1994, India had become a net exporter of oil seeds, where it remained till 1999. So, you know, for 5-6 years, we were producing enough oil seeds to export. That means we were having surplus oil seeds. For 5-6 years, we were producing enough oil seeds to export. So 4 major oil seeds in the beginning, mustard, sunflower, rapeseed, and groundnut. These were the 4 initially developed oil seeds. Gradually, it started developing more. So 7 edible oil seeds in India, 7 edible oil seeds in India, and 2 non-edible ones, oil seeds like the cotton oil seed and the linseed. These are the 2 non-edible oil seed, the cotton oil seed and the linseed. And there are 7 edible oil seeds that were developed in India. So 9 oil seeds in total, 7 edible, 2 non-edible. They were developed over the period. And by 97-98, it again seemed that India is on a very nice track. So this is your reasons for Green Revolution, along with the impact that it gave us export benefits and met the requirement of the people, So where it remained till 1999. It also resulted in increasing income in dryland regions selling oil cakes, like making solid product out of oil seeds, selling them in the market as an edible again. So dryland regions, it became an alternative source to provision for selling oil cakes. So by 1994, India had become a net exporter of oil seeds, where it remained till 1999. It also resulted in increasing income in dryland regions and selling oil cakes. It promoted development of oil seed crushing mills in southern and central India. In fact, many places, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, in those days, of course, only Andhra Pradesh. All these states started having cultivation of oil seeds with oil mills, which were crushing the oil seeds, taking oil out of it, and that started developing quite a bit. Now, you know what? This paragraph that I have written is impact of Yellow Revolution. This paragraph that I have written is impact of Yellow Revolution. In the examination, if you are writing an answer and you want to make it more clear and save your words, what you can do is you can write Yellow Revolution resulted in 1. Making India a net exporter of oil seeds. 2, or another bullet, increasing income in dryland regions. Another bullet, creating oil seed crushing mills as an alternative source of employment in several regions of India. You see, so that is how you can use knowledge to write an answer. All right, मैंने ये पूरा पैराग्राफ लिख के दिया आपको. अगर तुम 150 वर्ड का जवाब लिख रहे हो तो डेफिनेटली तुम उसके अंदर इतना लंबा पैराग्राफ नहीं लिखोगे. क्या करोगे छोटा करने को? तुम उसे पॉइंट्स में कन्वर्ट कर दोगे. I have given you a complete paragraph. Definitely in your exam you will not write it if you are writing a 150 word answer. So what is a better way to approach it? You will just put arrows across and write the impact. So you will write the impact of Yellow Revolution was A. India became a net exporter. B. Dryland regions just sold oil cakes and farmers got alternative income. C. Industry at small scale for oil mill crushing started developing. That ways you can write your answer better. Alright, so whenever you are running short of word, don't compromise on points. Write all the points. You can always compromise on explanation. Alright, you can cut short the explanation. Similarly, if you are writing a long answer, then again just keep elaborating more on the points that you know about. That is the way to adjust between long answers and short answers. I hope we can now understand it. Yes, yes, Amey. All agricultural revolutions we will discuss. Okay, so I'm answering it one by one, some of your questions. इंपोर्ट यहां कम हो रहा है विशाल 1999 तक, उसके बाद कहानी बदल गई। ठीक है, शुरुआत में इंपोर्ट ज्यादा था, उसके बाद ये येलो रिवॉल्यूशन हुआ, इंपोर्ट कम हो गया, और फिर 2002-2003 आते आते फिर प्रोडक्शन स्टैग्नेट कर गया और इंपोर्ट्स बढ़ने लगे दोबारा। आज हम देखते हैं इंपोर्ट बहुत ज्यादा है। विशाल, आई होप आप तुम्हें क्रोनोलॉजी क्लियर हो गई होगी। आप सब लोग क्रोनोलॉजी समझिए। All of you understand the chronology. Initially, imports were high in oil seeds. Then yellow revolution happened. Imports reduced. We became a net exporter. Gradually, production again stagnated. Imports again came back. And today again there are high imports. I hope सब लोग chronology समझ गए होंगे। TMO is technology mission on oil seeds, Kapil. I explained it in the beginning actually. Better quality means that you increase the productivity, Princey. Yes, Shivani. So I'll suggest what you do. Write the first line with technology mission on oil seeds. In a bracket you write TMO, and then you can keep using TMO thereafter. Arunab, it is relevant because we are again going through a shortage of oil seeds in India. And again, our import of edible oil is very high. Yes, Nitushri, we can always say that Yellow Revolution got inspiration from Green Revolution. Thank you, Satyam, for getting the point. I already wrote it, Akshat, that what is technology mission on Yellow Revolution. The technology mission was established by the government of India for the purpose of developing fertilizer support, extension services support, training of the farmers, better quality seeds. We already did that in the supply side measures. I hope, Akshat, you saw that. No, they were developed, Princey, but not to the same extent. It was not that they were not developed, all right, but not to the same extent. Shafi, I think rather than writing reasons or impact in capital letters, you can write a small line on it. It resulted in, or its impact was, and then write this. Similarly, for reasons, as I told you, the demand side and the supply side, that ways you can find your reasons. Okay, then, having said that, then we move further. What happened next was, after 1999, oilseed production started to stagnate between 18 million tons to 22 million tons, and remained so till 2009-10. Now, this is not a part of your answer on oilseed, Yellow Revolution. ये उस आंसर का पार्ट नहीं है जो तुम येलो रिवॉल्यूशन पे लिखोगे, ये उसके आगे की कहानी है। यहां तक लिखने के बाद तुम्हें येलो रिवॉल्यूशन को कंक्लूड करना है, और उस कंक्लूजन में आएगा स्टैग्नेशन ऑफ ऑयल सीड प्रोडक्शन एंड द रीजंस फॉर इट, ऑलराइट, दैट, and then you can conclude saying that oil seed production stagnated, and I will tell you the reasons why it happened. You will mention the reasons and then say that this has led to much higher demand for import of edible oil in India. That kind of a conclusion in 35-40 words you can write. That stagnation, reasons, and the result is that now again India is a net importer of edible oil, because of shortage of oil seeds in India. So that is how you can conclude this answer. All right. So this answer, again I repeat, when it comes to the structure of the answer, you will talk about definition of yellow revolution. You will talk about the idea of what was yellow revolution, that with technology mission on oil seeds established in 1986, production increased from 8 to 18 million tons and then further to 21 million tons. And then there were several reasons for yellow revolution. And then we moved to the demand side reasons, that is edible oil demand increased and the scientific capability to produce vegetable oil and hydrogenated oil increased. So more demand for oil seeds. Then we discussed the supply side reasons. These are your supply side reasons. That by early 80s demand became exorbitant, it was becoming difficult to keep importing, and that is where policy encouragement from oilseed production was given to create supply side impact. In the exam you can keep underlining this: demand side impact, supply side impact, and then you can write government started declaring MSP on oilseeds to encourage farmers to bring more area under cultivation, better irrigation facilities through assured irrigation, using groundwater, canals and tank irrigation and so on. And then we talked about the technology mission on oil seeds, its impact, and then we talked about the impact of yellow revolution in India, that how did it affect Indian production system. And now the conclusion can be that after 1990s, again oilseed production stagnated. It did not increase by the extent by which demand should have increased, and due to that, import requirements of oilseed remained high. All right, that is how you can conclude this answer. But there is more to life than that, and I'm telling you what is more to life than that. So I'm just taking you into that part, that what is more than. So please see this. So we say after 99, oilseed production started to stagnate between 18 million tons, 22 million tons, and remained so till 2009-10. This happened because area under oilseed production declined. Area under oilseed production declined due to lack of assured MSP on it, compared to open procurement for wheat and rice. आप समझना मेरी इस बात को. देखो, इंडिया में एमएसपी दो तरह से दिए जाते हैं. In India, MSP is given in two ways. One is okay, I'll take your questions in a while. I'll just first complete the discussion, and then I can take your questions. I've seen your questions, but give me some time and I will take them in a while after I have completed this discussion here. So please see this. When we say area under oilseed production declined due to lack of assured MSP in India, we have two ways in which we give MSP, minimum support price, to the farmers. One is open procurement. In open procurement system, whatever amount you bring to the market will be purchased by the government. Open procurement का मतलब, जितना भी अमाउंट आप लेकर आओगे एक कमोडिटी का, वो सारा सरकार खरीद लेगी मार्केट में. सो ऑल द अमाउंट दैट यू ब्रिंग इन द मार्केट विल बी परचेज्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट. दिस फैसिलिटी इज अवेलेबल only for wheat and rice. This facility is available only for wheat and rice. On the other hand, for all other crops for which government declares MSP, for all other crops for which government declares MSP, there is a closed procurement method. The closed procurement method is that government will not buy all the commodity that you bring. Government will only buy a small amount. Government will not buy all the commodity that you bring. Government will only buy a limited amount, and the rest have to be then sold in the open market. Government will not buy all the commodities. It will buy a limited amount, and the rest then have to be sold in the open market. This is the idea of closed procurement. Now, oil seeds, pulses, all these products are under MSP but under closed procurement in India. You know, products like oil seeds, products like pulses, they are under MSP but closed procurement. Now, farmer feels more encouraged to produce wheat and rice because the farmer knows that they will be definitely purchased by the government. The farmer feels more encouraged to produce wheat and rice because the farmer knows that they will be purchased more or purchased with certainty by the government. And hence, as this system started becoming more nuanced, जैसे जैसे ये सिस्टम और इस्टेब्लिश होने लगा, तो ये ज़्यादा होने लग गया फिर इंडिया में. जैसे ये सिस्टम इस्टेब्लिश होने लगा तो ये ज़्यादा होने लगा इंडिया में कि लोग बाकी के क्रॉप्स छोड़कर वीट राइस की तरफ जाने लग गए. As this system started taking shape, and it was since beginning, but by 1990s, by 2000, the support price kept rising. The subsidy now became very high, so it became more attractive for the farmers to grow more wheat and rice, even though India had surplus wheat and surplus rice. But somehow, due to this faulty government policy, the method continued, and then they did not feel encouraged to grow oil seeds, so or pulses and so on. So that became a reason for stagnation. Then the second reason for stagnation was technological development with respect to increasing yield stagnated and even within India except Tamil Nadu, all other states produced oil seeds at a very low yield level. In fact, it is suggested that even if other states start matching Tamil Nadu's level, our oil seed production can increase by around 1.5 times from where it is today. अगर बाकी के स्टेट्स तमिलनाडु के लेवल को भी मैच कर लें तो ऑयल सीड्स का प्रोडक्शन इंडिया में 1.5 गुना हो जाएगा आज के कंपैरिजन में. So if other states match up to even Tamil Nadu's level, it can do wonders to oil seeds production in India. So that is another reason why, with technological development stagnating, the support to agriculture oil seed dried up. The technology mission on oil seeds started becoming less and less relevant. Government funding started declining. Many people saw it as a Congress regime thing. So as Congress got away from power, Other support systems kept declining. Many people thought we don't need it. We need to support farmers through new methods. The focus was on industry and urban areas. So all these factors contributed to weakening of technological development in oilseeds development, production. The third factor that led to it poor capacity utilization of storehouse, lack of logistical support, and poor marketing possibilities discouraged production. Poor capacity utilization of storehouse, where that existing storehouses were not fully utilized. The charges remained very high, so farmers would be reluctant using them. So that again discouraged things. Lack of logistical support like packaging support, grading support, transportation support, that was missing. And then poor marketing possibilities. You could produce it, but there was very less connectivity created between the millers, those who would thresh oilseed and take oil out of it, and farmers. तो अगर ऑयल सीड मिल और फार्मर के बीच में कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है तो मार्केटिंग पुअर हो जाती थी. सो पुअर मार्केटिंग बिकॉज देयर वाज लैक ऑफ कनेक्टिविटी बिटवीन मिल्स एंड फार्म हाउसेस, poor capacity utilization of storehouses, and bad logistics due to lack of proper packaging and proper development of grading and measurement facilities. All that discouraged oilseed production further in India. Now from 2009-10, the government again started a national mission on oilseed production. Alright, from 2009-10, the government again started a national mission on oilseed production. Again, the production took some increase. It increased to around 32 million tons by 2018-19. By 2018-19, we are at 32 million tons of oilseed production. But the demand in India is around 40 million tons. The demand in India is around 40 million tons. So now that means India will have to produce much more to match up to its demand and catch up on oilseed production and reduce its imports. Today India produces approximately 32 million tons of oilseeds, but the demand in India is around 40 million tons, 42 million tons of oilseeds. So we will need at least 50 million tons of oilseed production, and that can be done through few particular methods that we can implement. So the production of oilseeds increased in India with renewed government support after 2009-10, and has reached 32 million tons in 2019-20. Mind you, this is the last year for which we have actual data. For all other years, we have provisional data. So I'm just using the actual data. So 32 million tons in 2019-20, but the need of oilseeds has increased, and type of oilseeds needed has also changed. I'm sorry, I missed one point. Kindly add that. इन 3 पॉइंट्स के अलावा एक और पॉइंट है, मैं मिस कर गया, मेरी गलती, मैं एक्सेप्ट भी करता हूं। मैं चौथा पॉइंट आपको बता रहा हूं, वो लिख लो जरा। ऑलराइट, देयर आर 4 पॉइंट्स इन reasons for oilseed stagnation. I missed the 4th point. Kindly add it to the reasons for oilseed stagnation. All right, please add the 4th point as reasons for oilseed stagnation. Then we will go ahead and to the next page. So the reason for oilseed stagnation, one more, was risky nature of the crop, with high possibility of pest infestation and costly production process. This discouraged farmers from choosing it. Kindly keep this also in mind. This is a factor that exists still today. It is risky to grow oil seeds. They very frequently suffer due to pest infestation. कीड़े लग जाते हैं फसल में और मर जाती है फसल. So the crop suffers a lot due to pests, and the cost of production is high because it needs assured water, it needs good quality seeds, it needs proper technology. So all that increases the cost of production, and chances of profit then become less because of the risks involved. And then with wheat and rice as assured returns, the farmers kept moving away from oil seeds. So kindly keep this 4th reason also in your mind. Then I come back to this point that the production of oil seeds increased in India with renewed government support after 9-10, and has reached 32 million tons, but the need of oil seeds has increased, and type of oil seeds needed has also changed. That is, India now needs a lot of castor oil, India needs a lot of palm oil, India needs a lot of olive oil. So these are the new types of demand that have emerged in India. All right, these are the new types of demand that have emerged in India. So high edible oil import can be restricted by a second yellow revolution in India, which can be achieved through, so high edible oil import can be restricted by a second yellow revolution in India, which can be achieved through, and so we go into that how it can be achieved, that how we can have a second yellow revolution. A, increasing yield through new cultivation technology which is more mechanized by making credit for investment in new machines available at a lesser rate of interest. This is one thing, government has already started this also. All right, government has already started that if you are using new type of machines and if you want loans to buy these new type of machines, then the government will allow you to increase yield through new cultivation technology and give you loans at cheaper rate. The second thing that has happened or that has been done or that needs to be done. B, increasing minimum support price for oil seeds and improving its marketing capacity by not only increasing government procurement, ये तो करना ही है, that government starts buying more, but also improving link between millers, those who buy oil seeds, and farmers. This is the second thing that needs to be done. Increase your MSP for oil seeds and improve the marketing capacity. Third, revive technological support for the farmers. Revive technological support for the farmers through new seeds, irrigation facilities, and promoting organic pest control methods. A lot of time their crops get rejected because of heavy use of chemical pesticides. A lot of time the crop gets rejected because of heavy use of chemical pesticides. So giving them technological support through new type of seeds, more hybrid seeds and all, irrigation facilities, giving them drip irrigation, allowing them to get more crop per drop, and promoting organic pest control methods. So these are the methods by which oilseed production can again be revived, and it is estimated by a research done by NABARD, that I will share that research paper with you by today after the class, that around 58 million tons of oil seeds can be produced in India. Just by increasing the yield up to 58 million tons. So that will remove the need of importing oil seed and rather allow us to export oil seeds. It's a very good paper. I will share that research paper with you. I have the permission to share it in public space legally. So I'll share it with you and you read through that paper. It's only 4 pages, but very good written 4 pages. All right, so this is the point on yellow revolution and its further thing that you can keep in mind.